first round pick. Hey, throw that list away. All right.
Why are we around? Let
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
the baby himself.
Chiefs Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, we ignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MVS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your top source for Chiefs news, analysis, opinions, and of course the place to also find the Four Guys in a Bar podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, along with Hense Todd, Lou Montagna, and Tillman. Hey. Guys, we all survived the weekend. I know, Andre, you missed us Friday and Saturday. Had to do a little real day job stuff, so appreciate you coming on today. Pitching this so we can get your thoughts on what I thought was an incredible draft class for the Chiefs and an extremely impressive draft class or undrafted free agents as well. So that's just my opinion. We'll get into that. But first, let's talk about our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy.
Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Wood Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz. That's right, UnderdogFantasy.com. They have been a great partner with us, and it's pretty simple. All you got to do is stick the camera up there, or the QR code on the bottom right hand of the screen, and hit that button. And register under the promo code Chiefs Blitz. You can start playing the game. All you got to do is deposit $5. You get up to $50 in bonus cash. It's a great way to have some fun. NBA, MLB, NHL, other sports as well. The pick'em game that was so popular during the NFL season is still around. So we highly suggest you give them a try. And remember to use the code Chiefs Blitz.
Go, Underdog.
Let's go.
It was a marathon weekend, boys. It's like an experience. It was like a cleansing. You know, Sunday was a difficult day.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Somebody in the chat said F++. So I got to do it again, just like for draft day.
What's up, Kansas City? Josh Simmons here, quarterback protector from Harlem State, and I can tell you how much of an amazing opportunity this is to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. So surreal to be called on day one. Everybody's dream as a kid if you played football. So I just can't wait to get down to Kansas City and get to work. Chiefs Kingdom.
All right, Kareem. Now I have a tweet. I'm going to find the tweet from Kareem.
There's a new position.
Yeah.
Quarterback protector.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Kareem didn't notice Coach was back here, so he doesn't necessarily need to be the agent of chaos today.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be the agent of chaos anymore. I believe there's a tweet from him somewhere that indicates that this would have been an A+. Could have been an A+ draft. So I'll find it. Somewhere. It's out there in cyberspace unless you deleted it, which is entirely possible.
So for the real ones that were with us all day Saturday, now
yes,
we can't single you out. You're gonna have to call yourselves out. We say respect because that's a long ass day. We tried to fill in, with as much outside information as we possibly could, but I think if I was just to kind of do an assessment or we're evaluating, I think it was a true. Four guys in a bar. I mean, it was very conversational.
Mm-hmm.
I think nobody was worried about bringing up a bunch of hot takes and making lists and comparing everything to everything else. So, I would have to pat ourselves on the back for staying true to the mission, if you would, of the show.
Yeah. I think, oh yeah, man, it was a lovely show. Even though I kept messing with Nick all show, you know what I mean, about Devin Neal, because he was very sad.
Did Devin Neal even get drafted?
Yeah, he
went
got
to the New Orleans Saints in the 6th round.
He did. Yeah.
Well, he went somewhere. He went somewhere, man.
You guys remember what was the song for Saturday? Put it in the chat.
I woke up this morning with that damn song in my head. I just want you to know.
What damn song?
Oh my god.
That's a jam, man.
Arms of an Angel. That's right.
It's
a gem song. It's a great song. The movie was great too. For those who like sappy movies.
Oh, you mean Hense's song? Sorry. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But it was he put full effort into it. He gave us a couple different versions of it.
Yeah.
We had a little T-Pain collab there. So nice.
Kareem said "Arms of the Angel" for Nick.
That's right, Arms of an Angel. Yeah. So obviously we survived. It was a lot of fun. I thought we enjoyed the process. I think for the most part, when some of these players fell, and especially in the 7th round, Mango I just loved his response when they drafted the young runner from SMU. I just thought it was great. And we just had a good time. And I think the consensus with nationally is the Chiefs probably had somewhere in the A- range draft. I think they had the best draft in the division. But, a lot of people are commenting on the stuff. The scouting, all the scouting guys came out Friday, Saturday, and then today as well. I'm just made a lot of comments about these guys to give us a little different impression, on what they saw in the draft process. Scouting director Ryan Nutt, who could be in line to be assistant general manager. Josh Simmons reminded him of Christian Darrisaw and Rashawn Slater. That happens. I think everybody's going to be really, really happy with the fact that the Chiefs got their guy. This is who they spent an extensive amount of time with. Ryan Nutt also said they felt good with the character of Josh Simmons. Says it was more of an adjustment from San Diego State to Ohio State than anything else. It was rather than some sort of immaturity thing going on. And that was the rumbling on Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, along with some of the I think the drifting comments to get people off the scent that he wasn't going to be ready for the regular season and injury is going to last until October, November. But there were some character issue things that came up. And as we learned in the process of Thursday, and we talked about this on the show Friday, the Chiefs spent a lot of time with Simmons, and they got their guy. And I'm very, very happy with how they played that whole dog and pony show. I love the business of the NFL, and I think the Chiefs wanted Simmons. I think Simmons wanted the Chiefs, and I think at the end of the day, they got exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's injury, a little banged up, prior and tell, but the upside is there. Josh Simmons, the upside is there. I do believe the Chiefs did have a good draft. They definitely addressed some needs. But going back to Josh Simmons, man, if healthy, he can be a legit talent, man, for the Kansas City Chiefs, man. And he can damn sure help Patrick Mahomes though, for real.
Yeah.
I think for real, the upside is there though. Like he had all the tools to be that guy, but we gotta see. Once that man go in that field, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Andy did indicate that he would be practicing some in the OTAs and mini camps. Speaking on Brashard Smith, Ryan Nutt indicated he was higher on their board when they took him, or where they took him. That's when they began to consider the trading up. And if you watched his interview, it was pretty interesting as to the process of how the Chiefs work the trade phones, whether, they have the scouts who are actually talking to some of these other teams and saying, what if this and what if that? And then obviously Brett Veach has the final say in the call. And as they got into the 7th round with Smith, they were like, hey, he had everybody out there talking to teams to try to move up, and they all agreed that giving up 2 picks to move up was certainly worth the price. And again, they thought about him in the 5th round. So
what you think about it, Luke? That was the guy you was covering and all senior.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll say it like until I'm blue in the face. I was pounding the table for this guy since the Senior Bowl. Like, this was going to be their guy. And I figured right around the 133 pick is where his name would start to kind of, okay, this is where we get him. The cool thing is when any one of these guys has been on a press availability, when his name comes up, you can physically see the guy, like, kind of a smirk comes to their face, like they just got away with something.
Right.
Like, wait till we turn this guy loose on the league. I don't know how great he's going to be. I just have a real good sense about the fit, him being able to be that kind of home run hitter, not just in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And everybody, this side of, I don't know, the Mississippi River probably knows that was my favorite player. That's the one I wanted the most in the draft.
I think they had you covered on both sides of the river.
Well, let's talk about my guy, Ashon Galati from Louisville, man. That's my guy. Y'all going to love him. The boy is sweet. He's one of the best pass rushers coming out. Hey, Louisville's big dog, man. Y'all going to love him, man. He's going to add tremendous depth to the Kansas City defensive front, man. Y'all just watch and see, man. He's going to kick ass in the summer games, man. He's going to kick ass in the summer games, I'll tell you that. The boy is a monster, man, for real. That's my guy, man. I was like, God damn, they got my guy. Yeah, he's a beast.
All right, more from Ryan Nutt. He says Josh Simmons' arm length measured at 34 1/8 at his pro day, and when they brought him in for a visit, and it was a little bit different at the combine. And I thought the other thing that Ryan said today was really interesting is that this was kind of a short arm tackle draft, whereas last year was more long arm guys. And he kind of went into kind of detail on how they view those picks and value those guys with the short arms versus the long arms. And we hear it all the time. It's a matter of their extension and their power. Can they ward off pass rushers? But I thought it was really detailed as to how he commented about what they look for. And this class just had short arms, but they're all in agreement that they think Simmons can be, he can be that guy. As he says, for the next 4 years. I thought his comments, he said that multiple times, for the next 4 years, even though he's under contract for 5, technically.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So,
I didn't like that comment.
You don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, like they're already expecting the 5th-year option.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think that's just I'm sure the way that they talk amongst one another.
Yeah, I think
and it just kind of spills out when he's in front of the mic. But that was like a recurring theme this year. I don't know that it was so much the guys have shorter arms, because I guess it comes down to, okay, where does the measurement begin? You've got the guy at the combine that somehow maybe might be measuring a little further down the shoulder to the fingertip. I don't know, but it seemed like a lot of guys, when they went to their pro days, had longer arms all of a sudden, or a couple of guys had bigger hands. And like, how did that happen? So I don't know if you're getting the home. But the thing is also, you would think, well, that's at their hometown thing or whatever. But no, I mean, there's usually a scout from one of the teams doing the measuring when they go to these pro days. So it's it should be fairly consistent. But yeah, that was kind of a weird thing this year, where a lot of guys' arms grew and hands got bigger as they went through the process.
Oh yeah. There you have it.
All right, and talking about Jalen Royals, they kind of Ryan Nutt, the director of personnel and scouting, college scouting, said he's very similar to Rashee Rice. And I would assume
I said that. You remember I said
you did say that, and you have to assume with the suspension coming and the status of the injury, though. Rashee Rice posted more stuff, I think today or yesterday. He looks like he's in pretty good shape, so I would imagine he's going to get some reps. But the suspension is still going to be an issue. We don't know what that's going to be. Both court cases have not materialized in front of a judge. There's been no plea agreement for the traffic incident, and then for the pain and the suffering of the victims of the accident, they have not been able to work something out yet. I'm assuming that they will. And but we don't know how it's going to play out. So we're just going to assume he's going to be missing the first 4 to 6 games, and they can get Royals up to speed and make sure he understands the offense enough that they can put him in a position, to get out there and to do what I think is, again, another steal, in my opinion. I think we all had him late second, third round, and he goes all the way to the end of the 5th round. And I just was shocked he was still there. And again, some teams probably felt that his level of competition wasn't up to par, and he did play against some bad schools, and he had a lot of success. So the proof's in the pudding. He's in the show now, and he's going to have to step up his game.
Well, his junior year, I mean, he put up sick numbers. Yeah. And I think he was kind of on his way until he got hurt this year. And I think Ryan might have said the same thing, or, something to that degree. But I think just about every pick, outwardly, it seemed like they got great value. Mm-hmm. The only one, again, I was pretty loud about it on when they did make the pick, was Dre's guys, Gelati, was that drilled down a little bit, or I should say I drilled down a little bit more on it after the fact. And I'm looking at it specifically, okay, player, value, whatever. Mm-hmm. You look at it as more so as if you look at these rushers as kind of a team of horses, if you would, or mm-hmm. just kind of a team, that the fact that he's a bigger edge rusher, he's more of a power rusher. So it's kind of like, okay, let's develop some moves. I think that perhaps that gives him an opportunity to really play. Now, he may not have been the perfect pick for every team, but in terms of perhaps just getting that powerful edge rusher kind of first job, set the edge, which everybody has, but then also become a top-notch pass rusher. That's but other than that, all the other ones, it just seemed like the guys, went either where they were supposed to go or a little bit later. So and then when one was falling, like Bassa, they went up and got him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
My guy. Huh?
Hey, really quick, before you want to say kudos to Casey Mango. He did so much work along with Hense producing the show for the 3 days. Couldn't have done it without you. These graphics were killer plus, including the show graphic today. That just that was just, it's impressive. And we want to know how much. I just want everybody to know how much we appreciate everything that you do for us.
How about that crawl too?
The crawl too. Yeah. Looks great.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. And also, man, hey, my guy off the golden list himself, Mr. Parking Lot. Put him in a lot. Don't matter where you're going to get that guy. Is amazing. Eric Donald all over again. Same size, 6'1", 6'2".
You really think he's going to be Aaron Donald-esque?
I really do.
Okay, do. Fair enough.
You watch his tape. That's Mr. Parking Lot. He is Kansas City. He fit Kansas City. I say out of all the draft picks, he is so, like, I say personally, like his personality,
right?
Everything. That's the Kansas City player all day long. The kid is watching his interviews, how he get ready for the games and everything else. Yeah, I feel like he's going to be
that's Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee.
Well, Omar Norman parking lot. So everybody in the chat, put that out in social media. We're putting it out into the ether. New nickname, Omar Norman parking
AKA Mr. Parking Lot.
But I guess the difference between like when Aaron was at Pitt, he was everything. I mean, he was playing like 80% of the snaps, former wrestler, whatever. I don't know if Omar has that in his background in terms of being a wrestler.
He was no, he's not a wrestler. And he's a rotation
my point
guy,
is that whenever and I'm sure everybody will quote me on this, is that every time I talk about a Georgia defensive lineman, what do you say? You don't see like thousands of snaps. There's so many of them. They're rotating him through, and Tennessee is very similar. So he didn't have a ton of snaps for them to really grade, but on the snaps that he played, the win rate was ridiculous. And just the fact that he can rush from the inside, that's always a big thing. And that was the reason I really liked Walter Nolan. If this guy's even close, then again, that's a great pick because they got him in the second.
Shout out to the Arizona Cardinals picking your boy up, Walter Nolan.
That's
shout
right.
Shout out to the Cardinals, man. They put in work too. They put in good work.
The Birds. I thought they had
a good draft.
They had a good weekend.
Yeah, I thought they had a really great weekend. I should get a quarterback and be in great shape.
Whatever.
So let's get right in. Let's get right into grading our favorite pick so far out of this draft. We can start with let me see. Let's start with Mango and Luke. Luke, go ahead and break down your favorite pick. Mango's via phone, so yes, I bring them in a time in a minute. Hold on. But you can go ahead and start breaking down yours.
This is like the worst kept secret ever, but I'm sure once the graphic comes up, it will be one Brashard Smith from SMU by way of the University of Miami. His head coach, I guess, was his either position coach or was on the staff at Miami. And eventually, when he got the head job at SMU, Brashard kind of followed him along. Wasn't playing a whole lot at receiver, but he spent that time training as receiver, running routes, and so forth. So that's given him a whole experience level out of the backfield. But from what Ryan Nutt was telling us, that the kid's been a running back since he was 4 years old. So he's got that going.
That's the pee-wee
just
league.
Everything. I mean, speed. The ability to stop and start just on a dime. He's a kick returner. I mean, he can help you in so many different ways, but the biggest thing is juice in the backfield. Have somebody back there that the defense has to be a little wary of and just feel like, hey, if we miss a tackle here, this dude is gone. So, and we haven't had that in some time. So it's just, and to get him in the 7th round, I don't care what they had to give up, whatever. It was an extra 7th round pick. Fine, whatever. Let's go. All right. We got our guy.
Yeah.
So Mango, what about your guy? You want to go ahead and explain your guy via phone? Is he in here?
I don't know where he went.
he's on there somewhere in the back
Probably
of the seat.
Speaking, but he's on mute. You're gonna unmute him.
He got to unmute himself. But again, we'll go back into Mango's pick. But go ahead, Mango. Go ahead and say what you got to say. Is Mango here? Mango there.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
There he is. I was curious if we paid our phone bill or not, but go.
It was a loose connection. I apologize.
All good.
I mean, well documented throughout the whole draft process that I've been pushing for Josh Simmons to the Chiefs. I mean, this is your franchise left tackle, and I know people said that last year with Kingsley. This is different. I mean, he's very smooth getting out of his stance and into space. He's got that rapid fire foot quickness. I mean, there's just so much potential here. It's just a case of him rehabbing from his torn patella tendon, because obviously that's going to be touch and go until we actually see him play downs. We're not going to really get a full grasp of where he's at until we see him play. But yeah, I mean, this is an incredible get for the Chiefs. He should have not been there at 31, let alone 32, where we ended up actually taking him. Insane value for the Chiefs. I mean, and obviously Brett Veach and the team have done incredible amounts of work on this, and they feel pretty comfortable with where he's at in his rehab. So, I mean, for me, this is the steal of the draft. There's just no way that we should have been allowed to have drafted a player of Josh Simmons' caliber. It's insane.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was the last 2 picks of the first round.
The 2 best picks of the first round happened 31 and 32.
Super Bowl teams, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but go ahead and look at me and Nick's. Me and Dre's. Well, go ahead, Nick. I'll let you go. Let Nick's pick. Right. Well, go ahead, Nick. Go ahead and splash.
Well, the other senior member of the team. I'm with Lou on Brashard Smith. I mean, I think. He is he going to be the next Jamal Charles? Maybe not. I think if Eric Bieniemy was his running backs coach, maybe. But I think when you look at him, look at the struggles he had at Miami. 3 years, He was always going to be the next guy up at the wide receiver position. He goes to SMU, follows his coach, as Lou said, and he just turned in almost 2,000 all-purpose yards. He can do it all. He's patient. He has home run abilities. I think Ryan Nutt, spoke a little bit today, and again, you kind of see the facial expressions when they're talking about Brashard Smith, and even Brashard Smith, when he spoke to the media late after the seventh round, was excited, and he said, "Hey, I'm coming full board. Just wait to see what I can do." And I think for the evolution of the Chiefs offense, obviously with Simmons as well, that this was the guy they had to have. We talked about it. If you listen to the show Saturday, they got to get a running back, and all these running backs were going. Even Martinez from Miami went. Devin Neal went, and here's this guy. He's still out there. And when they traded up, Mango went ballistic. I went ballistic. They got their top shelf running back, and it's going to be an interesting running back room, because I think there's going to be a veteran that doesn't make it, and this kid is special.
I already called it.
There's nothing. Yeah, I know you did. There's nothing he can't do with the football, and he's not. And the other thing about him too that I really like is that if you watch the film with him at SMU, he's not offensive line dependent like maybe Pacheco is. He can create his own running lanes. He can bounce out. He can move side to side. And I think that's the one thing about him I like the best. He is such a home run hitter. He has great hands. I think you're going to see the screen game. And don't be shocked if he has one of those 4 touchdown games reminiscent of Jamal Charles against the Raiders having 5 touchdowns, running and catching the ball. It may not be this year. I'm going to give him some time to adjust, but they have a 3-down running back, I think, in Smith. And I couldn't be more elated for the kid, and I can't be happier as a Chiefs fan, because the Broncos, Chargers, and the Raiders all got top shelf running backs.
Let me go ahead and check somebody in the chat. Hey, Lott is not shit, guy. Y'all trying to let you know. Hey, he's parking lot, aka
Kareem,
I'm trying to tell you, man. Hey, he was on the golden jacket list. Hey, this kid is amazing. Hey, I'm telling you. Put him in. Hey, like I said on Saturday, if I have a guy, if I'm in the woods, I'm trapped in the woods, and I need somebody to help me fight bears, hey, bring me Mr. Parking Lot, because I feel like he can be parting brown bears, black bears, blue bears, green bears. It doesn't matter. He gonna get it done. Hey, I feel like him next to Chris Jones is gonna be amazing. And hey, I don't care what nobody said in chat. Hey, also shout out to my little cousin. Thank you for joining in. Thank you everybody for joining in. He said, "Hey, coach," but hey, I don't hear what Kareem has said, man. Hey, Mr. Parking Lot himself is going to park you, Mr. Kareem, in your sunglasses and twist your head to the side when he see you in Walmart's parking lot in Utah pretty soon. But what you got to say about your pick, Coach Drake?
We'll dig it. He's a Cardinal. He's a Redbird, guys. But let's get to the meat. Listen, the man has elite speed, good burst. The boy can shed blockers. Do you hear me? Mm-hmm. Some people are going to be exposed in summer games, guys. They're going to be exposed. Maybe going to be Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Taylor, maybe more. I don't know, because the man, he's so diverse. Man, you put this man anywhere, he can get busy. Like I said, he got strong hands on the edge, man. He got good chase down speed. And I feel sorry for these running backs. My man he can get the job done. But honestly, he got good power. He got good hands on contact, man. He's a pass protection beast. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get busy down there, guys. Like what Mr. Bo was talking about Lott. Lott is a big guy. He kind of reminds me of Chris Jones, but when you put Galati out there, right? You know what I'm saying? Ashon out there, because my man last name is kind of confusing sometimes. But if you put Ashon out there, man, with that presence of a Chris Jones and Lott down there, they're going to get busy, man. Because remember, we know the struggle the Chiefs have getting to the quarterback. You know, Chris Jones can't do it by himself. So now you got 2 studs with him right now. You got a guy with speed and power, and another guy with just straight power. now you have something special with the Kansas City Chiefs right now in their front. I believe Ashine is going to get busy, and he might be defensive player of the rookie defensive player of the year.
I have to ask you this, Coach. Now, when you brought me his tape, now, am I wrong? Does he remind you of Jared Allen, or if that would be wrong to put that kind of comp on that kid to say he did it? I did. I'm just saying he looks like.
You can talk about like style of play. You don't have to say he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying he looks like
So Lou says not a Hall of Famer. Well,
when we get a chance, I need a 20. I need a 20.
Hold on. Let Andre
when we get a chance, I need a 20.
All right,
okay. Focus in on Coach.
Okay.
Let's get Coach on the screen.
Lou must got a hot take coming.
All right. Coach,
Coach,
wait a second. Give us a profile real quick.
Okay.
Turn your head one way or the other.
So
turn to the right or the left. Am I the only one noticing this?
What's that?
Where's the beard? Where did the beard go?
What the hell?
Look at that, man. What is happening here?
Yeah, I had to do a little something. Thanks for the detail, Lou. Lou said, "Hold on, the man cut
you get the whipped cream out with the cat running around and getting those."
Wow.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I had to get a little taste in. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I think, as far as the defensive front goes, I think he's a great addition, man. He's gonna bring speed, man. He's gonna bring good depth to the Chiefs. So I think he's gonna be a great piece for the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Great.
Hold on, Dre. Somebody had to say something to Kareem again.
What's up, Kansas City? Josh Simmons here, quarterback protected from Ohio State, and I can't tell you how much of an amazing opportunity this is to play Kansas City Chiefs. So surreal to be called on day one. Everybody's dream as a kid if you played football. So I just can't wait to get down to Kansas City and get to work. Chiefs Kingdom.
There you go. Did you see the video the Chiefs put out of him walking through Arrowhead or walking through the facility?
QBP, baby.
And he walked into Andy Reid's office, and Andy was like a foot tall, a foot shorter, and Andy was a former offensive lineman. The position adjustment of size, girth, strength to when Andy was playing offensive line is just I saw that and I thought, man, that's a big boy.
Well, Coach Reid was playing about 45 years ago.
Well, I know, but still, the evolution of the position, you know?
Absolutely. Look at that. Wait a second, Mango. This is breaking news. This has never happened, right? Chiefs are teaming up with NFL and Nike to release an alternate jersey. What?
The Chiefs have been adamantly opposed to that, so we'll see. We'll see how that
goes. Damn. What color though? Shit. What color?
Got to be black, right?
All yellow, black
Chiefs jersey. That would be dope.
Hey, I kind of got the detail. It's gonna be yellow.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I was told. That's what I was going to be.
Todd back on the case. All right.
It's going to be
on the baby, and we haven't seen the baby in a while.
he's on vacation with his mom.
Holiday? All right.
He's on holiday, yeah.
So y'all thoughts on the draft board so far? What do y'all think about the Chiefs draft so far? Like what how do y'all feel about it?
The grades were up with the guy. Those weren't the grades for the particular player. Those were the grades for the entire draft. So in general, like I said at the top, I think they got value on every single pick. Now, Gelati, again, it was right about there. I think maybe he was probably more of a fourth rounder, but if that's the guy you want, that's the guy you want. You go get him. And Noel Williams, maybe they figured, hey, few 30-some picks away that they were able to get him. But I think they made him. They went up about 10 spots to get Williams, right?
Right.
95 to 85. But every single one of these guys has, I think, better than average chance, probably a better than above average chance to make the team and contribute early. So I like it a lot. Obviously, there's many other teams that did well. The one thing I did notice, and I think I was kind of alluding to it throughout the draft, is that the Chiefs typically, at least Veach, you don't see many guys on here that aren't from a Power 5 school.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the thing with Royals that was, you were thinking, okay, because I kind of like Torrey Horton as well, and they're both Mountain West guys, are they going to go in that direction? So he was really the only one that wasn't from one of the Power 4, whatever you want to call it, Power 4 conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Now they did stray a little bit in their UDFAs, but at a certain point. With the transfer portal, I'm thinking that a lot of these guys do end up in their last year transferring up, right? So if you're an FCS guy and you're like at the top of your game, you probably want to showcase yourself that last year and get yourself drafted and being on TV a hell of a lot more. So maybe that contributes to it as well, as far as just big school guys. There weren't a ton of small school guys getting drafted in general.
Right. Yeah, I want to answer Jordan's question. Thoughts on Jalen Royals? Listen, I think we all agree he's a great wide receiver. He's definitely a fit for the Chiefs offense. Where they got him in that round was honestly quite shocking. We all thought he'd be drafted sooner, as I said earlier on the show. And I think the one thing with him is you look at he led college football in 50 plus gains last year, or 50 plus yard plays. And that's pretty impressive. He had a foot injury. He recovered. He had a great combine workout. He had a great Senior Bowl. There's a picture. There's a video somewhere of him smoking the Buffalo Bills first pick at the Senior Bowl, first round pick, the cornerback, which I thought was pretty great. And so I think for me, is you keep drafting wide receivers until you get 4 or 5 that are your base, and then you just keep rotating. It's kind of like
look at the Packers, right?
Yeah, the Packers loaded up.
They have the deepest, man. I said, God,
they're not even going to run the ball anymore. They're just going to throw 5 wide receivers out there and try to get the defense to protect them.
Did the Packers really need to get another wide receiver? Did they really need to get another wide receiver?
I think they're going to part. I think they're going to part ways with a few of those guys. Yeah. And I think we talked about this over the weekend, but there's just too many, and they're all, number 2, number 3 receivers. None of them really have kind of elevated themselves to be that number 1 guy, So yeah, I mean, for them to go in the first round, and that was like wow, stop the presses. And Mark Murphy, the outgoing president, I think by rule in the charter, he has to retire as the president of the Packers. But for him to just kind of bring it out that they hadn't taken a receiver in the first round in 22 years, and then they take another one, in the 3rd or the 4th? What round did Savion go? Do you recall, Tense?
No, Savion
went a 3rd round.
Was it the 3rd round? Okay, so they go back and Aaron Rodgers was sitting there somewhere. His phone was blowing up. They're drafting a bunch of receivers here, Aaron. What's up?
Well, Savion Williams did go. He did. Hey, he went to the Packers, man. They're gonna utilize that man. Like they're gonna.
I will be losing.
He's in the right position. What? He's in the right position though.
I'm gonna go trade for him on Madden franchise. But again, talking about this draft for me, man, Josh Simmons shouldn't have been there, but the Chiefs drafted. If his knee is well, he can be one of the best offensive linemen come out of this draft.
Top 10
talent. But hey, I can't get enough of parking lot, man. Hey, I can't wait to see. When I get up there at the training camp, that's the guy I'm gonna keep an eye on. I'm gonna see Trey Smith and Kareem Humphrey go head to head with Mr. Lott himself. And Williams, man, Williams reminds me of Marcus Peters all over again, but with a better attitude. Jalen Royals, I said it again. I said it once again for you guys before. I think he's Rashee Rice all over again. And you want to get the type of receivers that have the same skill set. And Jeffrey, man, he's watching his tape, man. He's gonna be the best covering linebacker for the Chiefs, because he did play safety, then moved down to linebacker, and that was the best move for him. And Rashard Smith, man, if you kind of look at him, he kind of reminds you of the kid from Detroit. If you see them side by side, you put the same jersey on, you take off the glasses, you say, hey, it's still the same kid. Hey, but again, man, I'll give this draft an A+, man. I think what they got. See, what a lot of people look at the draft classes, they look at this need, but we got the head coach, the quarterback, and everything else got to play place around it, right? So we ain't fishing and looking for a quarterback. We just need everything else pieces to fall in place because end of the day, since Patrick Mahomes been starting, he always been in the AFC Championship or always, next there to get you in the playoffs. That's the ceiling for him. So adding more key pieces around him is going to be, a guy that can take the ball away and Noah Williams, a guy and Galati that can come off the edge with all the hair. I hope he keeps the hair because they're gonna make the uniform look even much better. He'll come off the edge, all the hair, sacking quarterbacks. And man, I'm telling you guys, y'all gonna say, Hense, man, you was right about this kid, number 55.
I'm gonna challenge you right now, Hensley. Between now and training camp, you are tasked with coming up with a lyric, an entire rap song for Omar Norman parking lot.
Mr. Parking Lot.
The challenge is released. Do you accept? Do you accept?
He accepts.
I accept it. Now let's get
hey, real quick though. Shador did go to the Browns. They got. All right, they got Nick in your face. He went.
Yeah,
he went to the Browns, man. Yeah, man, he gonna do big things for the Browns, man.
Big things for the Browns, man. He certainly may. That was kind of strange, 2 rounds earlier they took the kid from Oregon.
Gabriel. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a dysfunctional move, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I said, come on, Gabriel, man. I said, okay, now y'all get now. I see what's going on. I see what's going on, man. But I'm glad they got his due because me personally, I knew it was some arrogance going on. That's why it happened. A little bit of arrogance, man. But not saying he wasn't humble. He was humble, but I'm glad he got the opportunity.
Well, if he wasn't humble, he's certainly been humbled now.
Yeah, right. Humbled. Humble, yeah. But Charlotte went to Tampa Bay. That's a good thing too. So both Sanders got picked, man. So good job for them, man. Good job for them.
Speaking of UDFAs,
yes. Let's get the reaction. Before we do that, I think we got the video.
I'm having trouble with that. So
the Chiefs stayed busy like every other team once the draft was over, signing new players, right? The undrafted players. Now, I can't speak to a lot of these guys. I know a few of them, a couple local guys for me, and Keziah Izzard, the defensive tackle from Penn State, as well as the linebacker Brandon George from Pitt. Mm-hmm. Brandon George is just an athletic freak. Okay. Yep. Now, again, the production and other things that you look for, but in terms of UDFAs, he's perfect because you're looking for these guys if they do make the team, they're going to be special teams guys starting out. I don't know of any of them, especially, in the like linebacker, safety, and so forth, if they're really going to push the guys ahead of them for starting spots. But they certainly can come up and make the back end of the roster and be those core special teams guys. The other one was Glendon Miller from Maryland. I had him as a 7th round pick in I think a couple maybe 7.0 was my my mock draft. 6'2", 190. I mean, rangy guy, ball skills out the wazoo. He can cover, safety by trade, but tracks the ball really well, run support. Guy's a great tackler, can play man defense. And at very least, he is going to be an ace on special teams. So there's a few guys there. Now everybody's losing their minds over this tight end, Jake Brenningstool. I think he was projected high. I think Nick Jacobs had him pretty high on his draft board that he puts out every year. And shout out to Nick. He won some national contest.
He did. He won. He had the best draft prognostication. I talked to him this morning.
Most of his guys in the first round. So God bless him. Brenningstool, I think, he's definitely has the size. Again, you don't hear much in the history of the draft, at least in the recent history, of a lot of tight ends coming out of Clemson and being big time players. But I think he has a chance.
I think he does too.
But they also brought in another tight end, Trey Watson from Texas A&M. Again, looks like an athletic freak. So that was really a position that we thought they might draft. But bringing these guys in, and then hopefully Jared Wiley comes back healthy at a certain point, and that position
excited
should
about
be
the tight end, man.
In good stead this year.
A lot of people excited about Bringstool. That's his name, Bringstool.
Bringstool, yeah.
I'm not sure how or what I mean, he's big. I mean, I see him as like a Peyton Hendershot, but I could be wrong.
Hey guys in the chat, what's so exciting about this guy? Because a lot of people in the chat talking about this guy. He's gonna be a starter. He's the guy. I mean,
well, he's not going to start this year.
I know he's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, what makes them believe he's going to be a starter?
I think if you break down his film, and I watched a lot of film on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
You just look at the way he works in open spaces. He can get open. Clemson didn't have a great offense, in my opinion. It was okay, but he just made plays. He can play tight catches. He runs a lot like Travis Kelce does in open spaces. He's got good hands.
Mm-hmm.
He should have gone in the 5th round, in my opinion. He's got that kind of talent. He's a lock. I'm telling you right now. Mark it. April 28th, 2:19 p.m. Central Time. He's a lock to make the roster. He's going to be one of the 3 or 4 tight ends that they keep. I think he's got that kind of gift. I love the if you can put the list back up real quick, Hense, because there's just too many names in my brain, that are going to be that I can keep track of. I love Brandon George as well. I think Asa Pohl, the offensive tackle from Washington State, I think he's going to make this roster too. His depth. I love Izard Keziah as well. I think he's going to be really, really good. He's going to be a great piece for this defense. Badger's really good. The wide receiver they got. So they brought a lot of diversity in, and of course they got the best punter in college football. And Eddie, I'm not even going to say it.
You don't want to steal Coach's thunder here with the punter, but don't be surprised if he wins the job. I
wouldn't be.
Chaplicki, I think, is how they pronounce it.
Yeah, and the Chiefs paid heavily for him. He was one of the highest paid free agents.
He's a guy. So
did you say highest paid free agents, Nick?
Undrafted free agents.
That's right.
Yeah.
He is going to be in a battle. I mean, the punt god is. So it's going to bring out the best of both of them, and
as it should.
Some other team is going to get a really good punter off the scrap.
I think again, this list is very fluid. I'm going to throw out another name, and I know this is going to make Hans smile. Isaiah Bond is still technically a free agent. He has not signed a UDFA contract with any team yet. I have heard rumblings. Yes, it's coming. I've heard rumblings that the Chiefs have some interest in him, and there's a possibility they won't sign him, but I think they may want to get him in for a rookie visit like they're doing with a couple of other players. They don't technically sign these guys. Sometimes they're just an invite to I
think there's 17 of those guys.
Yeah, the rookie minicamp.
They want to be able to actually have some football plays. So you
got to have guys
at
that
least
can play
22
and line up.
guys, 11 on 11, so they can run some plays.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Isaiah Bond is someone the Chiefs look at pretty strongly. He's got some off the field issues. The Texas courts run really, really slow, so we don't know the situation. But the Chiefs have had some experience here. Obviously, they just got through the Xavier Worthy thing, which basically worked itself through, and of course, Rashee Rice. But I think Bond, if the Chiefs sign him and he can't play this year, you got a 3rd round pick that you don't play this year. You still got him under control for 2 to 3 more years after that. So I think it would be a smart move to roll the dice on him because they don't necessarily need him this year. But as Mango says, I mean, the evidence is damning. We don't really know, but I think the Chiefs, don't be surprised if they kick the tires, just if they feel something could turn.
I think every team probably did their own little investigation because he was arguably in the top 15 receivers at least on the board. So if if they were satisfied, I think somebody would have taken him.
Yeah, there's too much. There's too much going on still.
Now it's a little bit different. You don't have to wait. You don't have to use a draft pick and kind of lose somebody else's services. Over that. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's a long shot at best.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not saying it's going to happen. Yep, I'm with you.
But again, looking at this free agent list, I was listening to y'all, but I was trying to get the video in. But yeah, Jack Stewart, man, he was one of the top 100 golden jackets from Clemson, man. I feel like this kid can be great pickup. But guys, we all know what tight end is there. Is waiting in the wings. He's already had the jacket. He already been fitted. You know what I mean? So it's Jared.
I was going to say, if there's only one jacket, if there's only one jacket in the closet,
I don't know. You might get some competition.
Who's getting it?
Hey, real quick, guys, I gotta take a quick bathroom break, fellas.
Jared,
give me a minute.
Jared or Jake, who gets it?
I'll say Jared gets the Jared
keeps the jacket. All right.
Jared keeps the jacket. I feel like he's the better tight end besides Travis Kelce. When Travis Kelce retires, we'll come back and we'll say, who let this number big 12 get to the Kansas City Chiefs?
They both could be the future for the Chiefs at tight end. And you have to have two really good tight ends. And when Kelce retires after this year, and I think it's listen, you got two young guys. They have size, they have skill. Can they learn to play with Patrick Mahomes? That's the question. And I think both of them can. And I'm excited. I'm excited about the tight end room going forward. And of course, you got 50 Shades. We can't forget him.
Yeah.
Well, you know how we do it.
All this slanderous speak of these guys that have never played it down in the NFL. Come on, man.
Well, you know how we do when somebody leaves the show. Doom, 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 doom. Good Dre. Be pretty Ricky. Could he be pretty wicked? We don't know.
It depends. If we see like a breaking,
I don't know. That's a lot of security to go through.
We see a breaking tweet.
But other than that, man, let's get into this reaction video of Bashard Smith. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the Chiefs.
Let me get it right back in here, guys. Roll. Let me get it fixed. It came in a little small. There it is.
Oh, the Chiefs moved up. You had it, Nick. Yeah, they're behind San Francisco.
We're on.
There we go. My goodness, excitement in the 7th round.
3 hours ago, Mango posted
Bashard
Smith makes too much sense for the Chiefs.
This is awesome.
I think the Chiefs. Here, let me refresh.
We know the comp yet.
This could be the
I know they gave up one of their 7s, but I don't know what else.
Draft.
Yep, they gave up both their 7s. So this is it.
Oh, even better. My God, we're done.
We've been on here almost 7.
I have to write one more article instead of 2. The Chiefs have given up their final 2 picks to move up and to pick 228 from New England. This is the second trade they've done with the New England.
So they move up 23 spots.
Arkansas.
There it is.
23 spots for an extra player.
Indiana takes Curtis Rourke. San Francisco takes Curtis Rourke from Indiana. All right, hold on.
We ain't holding on. We've been here for 6 hours, sir. I got to go.
Not going anywhere. Let's go. Come on.
Arkansas running back. 6'1".
Rashad Smith.
There it is. The Chiefs have done their perfect draft. I am good.
That's right. Come on, Brett. Take a bow. Take a bow, Brett.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Oh my God, that was so awesome. I think we were all in unison except for Hense, of course, championing his running back from Arkansas.
Great way to cap the day for sure.
Oh, it was just perfect ending to what I thought was a really great draft for the Chiefs. And again, I'm just I cannot wait to watch this kid. perform in a Chiefs uniform. And if he can be 3/4 of the player he was at SMU, that's going to be a big improvement with a running game in Kansas City.
And it's crazy. He just, did it. That was his first year at running back, doing all that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, it took all the skills of him playing wide receiver for 3 years at Miami, then coming to play running back for, the Mustangs.
The real question is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a legit starter?
Who knows? At this point, get him reps, get him experience.
I would go on the limb and say yes, he's going to be the starter.
Yeah,
because they don't have that type of player.
That coming.
I'm just saying they don't have that type of player, the type of speed or type of. If I was a coach, Isaiah Pacheco. If you look at the spin moves on his kid, the juke moves and everything else, a perfect fit, and as well.
Yeah, and he was a running back in high school and in Pee Wee League, so he definitely this is something Miami pushed really hard to move him to wide receiver, and they just they never gave him the chance. They never moved him as the next guy up, and so his coach goes, like we mentioned, to SMU, and then he says, "Hey, we're going to put you back at running back," and he just flourished. So he's got experience, and of course, taking all the reps at as a receiver, in practice, and is good experience for him, and he caught the ball very well for SMU. And again, I don't know if he can block, but one thing about him that the people aren't talking about is that he even though his size is a little short, he's still stocky enough to bounce off guys. He's very strong at point of contact. He's not going to fall to the ground if someone sticks an arm out there. He's going to try to fight through it. And I think he's going to be very special for the Chiefs.
On the game, he got a 98 speed on NCAA. So
I don't even know what that means.
It's going to be hard to expect him to soak in.
What's the speed on? What's the speed on that?
The entire playbook and become a starter.
It's going to be tough
off the bat. So I think you're still going to see plenty of pops. You'll see plenty of Elijah Mitchell. So he's going to get his reps, but in terms of is he out there when the game starts? Maybe. I don't know that. I think it's going to be a running back share.
They probably put in some packages though, some outside like receiver packages.
Those three guys are right, meaning Pops, Elijah Mitchell, and Brashard is ready to rock and roll. I think those three are going to be. Those three are going to get the major. Major share of the carries. And
someone is not making the roster of those four running backs with Kareem Hunt. Pacheco.
I said it last show. I think Kareem Hunt ain't making it. But again, with that said, man, what's Kareem Hunt? I don't think he's making. I don't think he's making the team. But again, our Juju, I feel like Juju's going to be.
Juju's making the team.
Go dance. Go.
Reason I say Juju is not going to make it. If the Green Bay start releasing some of those wide receivers and some of these guys that got drafted going into some of these heavy team wide receiver groups, and some of them guys start to get released, some of them guys going to try to make their way to Kansas City. So it's going to have to be some cut somewhere. So also with that, looking at everybody else drafts, who else besides the Chiefs have won the draft? Nick, had a good draft.
I think there's four. There's
one.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
I'm gonna have to say the Philadelphia Eagles. Harry Roseman just did it again. He got great value. He had so many picks, all the way from the first round pick to the last 7th round pick. All he did was restock his defense and offensive line.
Shout out to
which
Ty
is
Robinson.
what he does, and move the line forward.
I call
get guys, and he gets all these comp picks. I listen. The Eagles are a very well-run organization. They're visiting the White House today, but I really think that he did a masterclass again in this draft. And I know Jordan asked about Jalen Rose. Yes, I think he'll make the team, and I think all these draft picks are going to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick in the Northeast. I thought New England did a masterful job.
Yeah.
All the way up and down, some of the other teams, like the NFC East, I don't know if any of them had a bad draft, But if I was to pick one other one that you can see kind of what the culture is going to be, if you didn't already know, with Vrabel being the head coach, just look at their draft picks, man. That is going to be, it may not be this year, but if these guys all contribute, I think they're going to be all right.
Holland Pierce went to the Eagles. God dang, Lou Small Shirt went to the Eagles, man. He went to the Eagles. He went to the Eagles. Holland Pierce. Yep.
What?
I've heard of Holly Price. Is that the same guy?
Yeah, Holly Price.
Holly Price.
Yeah, but again,
she made a showing on the weekend.
But again, but again, if I had to choose, I know a lot of people are gonna say it's crazy, but I have to say the Browns. The reason why.
Shador.
Because they got Shador and they traded back and got a number 1 pick and potentially from the Jaguars. The Jaguars could suck next year. And guess what? Eli Manning is coming out. Guess what? Archie Manning is coming out, and some of these guys that probably let me finish. And then some of these guys would come out to who they drafted don't turn out well. Then they got 2 first-round picks and probably move up and get Archie Manning and get their quarterback of the future. So
Rams will be in the same slot. I mean, teams that got firsts for next year, they have Atlanta's first and their own for next year. That's the one thing. Arch's name keeps coming up, but I don't think he's going to come out after just one full season. I think he's going to sit there. He's not a microwave. He's going to bake in that oven with Sark. And he's in no rush. He'll make plenty of money there. And I think with the people advising him, his dad, his uncles, he's going to stay there as long as. Peyton did the same thing. Eli stayed, the whole time. So I think he's going to stick around.
I think my Cardinals kicked ass, man. I don't put too much smoke on my guys. They kicked ass. You got Will Johnson, man. You got Nolan. We got Birch, man. We picked up a beautiful safety, man, in our last pick. We definitely and Birch, and he picked up Birch, man, from Oregon, man. We kicked ass, man. You got Denzel from Iowa too, so
they did really good. Uncharacteristically, they did very good.
Yeah, and then the Giants, real quick, their front, their defense line is gonna be sick, boy. I say, gosh,
that quarterback room's a mess.
Nah, they got
Jackson Dart. Talking about the draft right now, Nick. Relax.
Sorry.
but I thought the Giants. Everybody in the East, the Commanders had a great job.
Yeah. The Cowboys did good too.
There weren't a lot of teams that had terrible drafts.
All right, okay, I'll change it. It's the Eagles, man. They got the middle linebacker of all ages, and then they go get Todd Robinson.
I called it. I said, bro, what the Chiefs miss him and get Ty Robinson, bro? I said they got him. Oh shoot! Hey, listen, and their offensive line coach is fucking amazing. Excuse my language. He is amazing. Yeah. You put Small Shirt with him. You got tight shirt with that dude.
He has a university named after him. Come on,
that dude, man, phenomenal. Nice. But the East kicked ass.
Yeah, they did a great job. I mean, again, I don't think
Patriots. I thought was they did really well.
You take it a step further. Look at the AFC West. I mean, I think all 3 teams in the division, I think, did pretty good. I think the Raiders' third day wasn't all that great.
Everybody's giving tuning a can F. Everybody giving the Bengals an F. They say they did terrible. A lot of scouts and stuff out there on CBS. CBS gave them an F. NFL Network gave them an F.
The same people that had Shador in the first round. You mean?
I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, Mel Kiper snapped, bro. That dude snapped. He was hot, boy.
He did.
He was
Saturday.
Hot, man.
What was it? Friday night. Rich Eisen lost it too.
Now, Lou. I was going to ask Lou that question. Lou, you Mel Kiper, right? Y'all watched him for years.
Yeah.
And I think he was kind of right when he said the NFL don't know what they're talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. Because would you have to agree with that? Because a lot of guys that went in the first round happened to be busters. not even making the team. Some of them not turned out very well.
Yeah, I mean, it's well documented that the league still hasn't completely figured out how to scout these guys. But again, I don't know how deep you can go and how you can figure out what's between the ears and the mental toughness and what it takes to play that position in the league. Because you can look at the player, look at the skills and everything else. And I would say that's where the NFL told you that, all right, we don't believe that Shedeur is that guy. All right. Like he's got these extraordinary skills and he's going to be like a top-notch quarterback. So he starts to fall. Now, Mel had him as his number one quarterback. There were other people. He wasn't the only one. But, after a while, you start to think, well, what's going on? Well, you come to hear now it's like several coaches, several front offices, they didn't quite like the interview process, or allegedly Daboll and the Giants, I think they gave him like a packet to, and again, I don't know how true this is, but that he needed to study before they went out there to work him out. And evidently the word came back to them that was kind of like, well, I really didn't, he didn't have time, whatever. He just didn't put in the time that they expected him to. So when they traded up, and I'm yelling Jackson Dart, that was it wasn't so much that it was Shedeur the player. It was just maybe he didn't handle the process as well as he could have leading up to it. He didn't play in any all-star games. He didn't do anything at the combine. Yes, they did the showcase, but if you're not like an elite standard, like last year, Marvin Harrison skipped everything. Yeah. He knew he was the best receiver, going to be the first receiver taken, and there was no question about it.
Yeah,
and everybody just raved about him.
Absolutely.
Yep. I don't think Shedeur had that groundswell of support saying that he's that great of a player.
Well, my wife, I asked her about it. And she was like, well, it could have been that the NFL was, didn't like that Marvin Harrison did it. And Shedeur tried to come back and do the same thing in the NFL. So, you know what? If we're going to have guys that come around and going to do this, we're going to have to make a example out of one of them and say, hey, this is not, you got to come out and do the drills. You got to come out and do everything you got to do.
To me, the one thing it proves is that if you are ultra special, you can get away with that.
Yeah.
If you are not, if you're like looked at as, hey, you might be a top 5 guy in this draft. You might, even if you had people coming out, they're trying to push up Jackson Dart, trying to push up Tyler Shuck, and you have all these things and you're not kind of going along with the process, then I can see why that player would fall. I agree with her, but that apples and oranges. Marvin Harrison would have been a top 10 player in any draft ever, just from the athletic ability, the production, the pedigree, all that stuff, and the lack of noise around him.
She was she was talking about number of ratings, like the combine is a big thing after the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, I understand completely. Yeah.
Then then you got a lot of players, that don't want to work out. Then that's gonna take away the numbers from the combine and everything else. So
yeah,
I think honestly, it's kind of like I see both sides. But if I'm that special, I'm that good. Like Nick stated a couple of shows ago, when you're consistently putting in work, and they see the tape on the years you've been playing a high level for the last 3 years in college, you really don't need to go to the combine because you already see the tape. You already see the foot. You see, I'm already at number one. I've been number one for the last 3 years. So really, I don't have to show nothing for real because it shows it on the tape. But with Shedeur is 2 years in Colorado. You had a banged up year the first year. The second year you played okay. But remember, he was playing behind a bad Colorado offensive line. So for me, I give him kudos, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people were saying it could have been Deion, been arrogant. Remember what Deion talking about in the press? If my son go to this team, I'm gonna be inputted into the situation. Like,
Archie Manning or whatever, he did the same thing with Eli Manning. So, I don't see it that. I think it was what my wife said, and I was like that. That hits it right on the nail because I feel like if the one ball start falling, then everybody else gonna say, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. The next you know the Raiders gonna start
not everybody can. You have to be like elite. If you're that guy, everybody knows. And whether you did the workouts or not, if they consider you elite, you're gonna get picked.
Yeah, and
he was not. If he was just this, he was good in this class. In other words, he's a top 5 guy in this class, but he hasn't separated himself from the other guys, the other 4 guys, if you would, that were in the top 5. Then that's where the process hurts him because he was saying all these things like he was that guy, but in terms of the way the league saw him, he was not that guy.
So in 20 years, where Bronze come out,
no one's gonna remember him in 20 years.
What about Bronze? Nobody gonna remember Patrick Mahomes.
No, Bronze. I thought you were talking about Sanders. Sorry.
I thought not Bronze. I said when Bronze come out,
he'll be the next guy.
Ready to go.
Let me piggyback on Andre's comment about how bad the offensive line was last year. If he was that special, he would have overcome it. And you look no further than the Chiefs starting quarterback at Texas Tech. His offensive line was atrocious. He was running for his life, and he was pulling plays at every arm angle and doing all the things that needed to be done to put up 500-600 yards and some wicked stats. That's the difference between the two. He overcame them. Sanders could not overcome the issues they had with his football team. He played also, I think, a much harder schedule in year 2 at Colorado versus year 1. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Again, nobody had faced a quarterback with that skill set, and he came back the second year and he just wasn't as good. So I think, listen, if any NFL team thought that he was a first round or second round talent, they would have taken him. And I don't think they were trying to do a lesson or anything like that. I think some of it maybe the fact that his father was brash and he's indicated that his son would be a top 5 pick. And he was trying to sell him to teams at the pro day and talking to coaches and kind of getting in the way and interfering. And these NFL executives don't want to hear that. They want to make their own decisions, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just how the league is. And they don't want someone coming in and telling them what to do.
Exactly.
It's an old boys club. It's never going to be any different. Now we're going to see things that, we're going to see crazy things that happen, with rosters and coaches and things like that. But it's a tight group. The NFL head coaches, the NFL general managers, the NFL team presidents, and they are very well connected around it. And they may be competitors, and they may not can't stand each other on game days, but they are in unison. They, for the most part, think the same, act the same, believe the same things. And if 1 or 2 teams feel that this guy is not a good football player, then the other 28 or 30 are going to say, you know what, that's the trend. And the teams that buck that trend with certain players, maybe they get a gem here and there. But for the most part, Simmons is a perfect example. The Chiefs were really the only team. They bucked the trend. They said, nope, we think he's going to be ready to go for training camp. We think he's going to be ready for the regular season. All these other teams didn't do the due diligence or spend the time. And the narrative was 31 teams just didn't think he was a first-round pick.
And I'll say this. I agree with that. But as a former high school player, play ball, we can have guys that can be locker room guys and not locker room guys. But when it's all said and done with Shedeur Sanders, the player is going to tell me they're going to tell you who the best player is. Like the players came out about Patrick Mahomes, like, hey, this kid's doing what he's doing in practice, what he's, the ball angles. It ain't going to lie because the player's going to let you know what this guy really is when it's all said and done. Yes, as fans, we can look and say, hey, this guy, we think he's elite. The tape shows elite. But like somebody said in the chat, I think it was King Mo said that, Sanders throw his offensive line under the bus. Some that probably don't fit well with some GMs and some coaches and stuff like that. Like, hey, you want to have a guy to come out and say, hey, it's my fault. It was my fault. I got to get better and get better. But again, yes, he probably come off different but then when it's all said and done, when they come out and play ball in the summer games, it's going to show what player is the better player and who should be starting, because the player is going to say, "Do you agree, Coach?" Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing, though, like I know Shedeur might didn't wow a lot of people, but in clutch times he was like the guy. Like it's been times of Colorado been in double overtime and Shedeur came through. Like Shedeur does got the gene in him. It was just the fact that like he don't have that special arm. He can't throw a 70-yard bomb or this, that, and the other, but he is accurate. He's very accurate and he's poised. Sometimes I think what it is, he's too damn poised in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to run, but he's so poised. It's like he's all about getting his guys over, being patient with his guys. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna hurry him get out the pocket. He's gonna be patient. He wants his guys to get the ball. So again, I do believe this. I believe Shedeur is a good quarterback. I believe it is. My take on it, I believe I think came out a little too arrogant. I think they're arrogant, before the draft and stuff like that, and it kind of rubbed the owners the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So other than that, I do believe Shedeur is a good
piss off the billionaires.
I will say this. This is gonna be the most watched preseason ever. Yeah. When it's all said and done.
Right. Yeah.
In the chat, I think this is gonna be the most watched preseason ever. Also, because everybody gonna be watching Parking Lot. They're gonna see what he can do, and they're gonna also watch Royals, Jeffrey, Rashard Smith, and Genty, and Simmons, man, to see.
I think Simmons probably ain't gonna start though. You think Simmons gonna start in summer games though?
I think he'll be ready by the end of the preseason with that. So
I think he'll start. I think he'll get some starts.
Yeah. As Lou over there
on the bad phone.
As Lee over there, take it. Try to get
Agent
a guy
Louis. Agent Louis.
Try to get a guy signed for the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that said, guys, this is our show. We'll see you guys. Let's answer some of these questions before we get out of here.
All right, run them up.
Okay. Well, somebody put something in there. Oh.
There it is.
All right, Shedeur versus Eli. Who had a more successful college career? Well, I mean, I don't think there's any question it was Eli. He did it over 4 years or 3 years, and he was a top 5 pick, and he won 2 Super Bowls. So in college, but he had that lineage of great quarterbacks in the family, and that helps too. And I think one of the things that I think hurt Sanders is being coached by his dad. I think that he's coached him his whole life, and he didn't get another perspective. So I think clearly Eli.
I would like to ask this question.
Go ahead, Bo.
It said, what was your guys' opinion on, when Chiefs? I was gunning for Patrick Mahomes. Some people was gunning for Deshaun Watson.
That would be me, sir. I sure did, sir.
I said, we need this guy from Texas Tech with the bad footwork and the throwing the sidearm and everything else, whatever everybody was knocking on him. But we got the guy that I want. I was gunning for Patrick Mahomes, man.
I told his agent Lee Steinberg. I said the Chiefs are going to move up and take your boy, and that was in March, and it happened.
Hey, you know what? Real talk. Deshaun Watson was the guy into the situation. That man was rolling with them Texans. We're not going to just knock off Deshaun. Like Deshaun wasn't that guy. He was. And he was right there.
No, he wasn't.
He threw 5,000 with a bunch of nobodies.
He wasn't that guy because he couldn't sustain it, and he got into all this. No. Hold on. You're looking at the statistics because he played great for a season. He ruined his career. He ruined his career in the NFL.
Bad oil.
He ruined his career in the NFL. He had a masterful agent that got a ton of money from Cleveland. He didn't do squat in Cleveland. He had to cut his pay. He's not going to make the team this year. They're going to just cut their losses. And he's not a great quarterback, because if he was a great quarterback, he doesn't put himself in that situation with 30 different individuals.
It's the intense massage.
I don't care what it was. At the bottom line at the end of the day is
very detailed.
The Chiefs dodged a massive bullet because they viewed those two guys, Watson and Mahomes. They felt a lot more comfortable in Mahomes when they moved up. And then what did Texans do? They moved up to get him, and he was a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust. He's going to be an asterisk in the NFL.
You said Deshaun was a bust?
Deshaun Watson is a bust.
Gosh. Oh, my God.
He's going to be an asterisk in the NFL when it's all said and done.
Deshaun was a bust. I don't believe you said that, Nick. Deshaun was good until he used the wrong oil.
Okay. That's not even appropriate.
The agent gave him the wrong people. Now, Nick, you brought it up. Talking about 30 different individuals.
I'm not getting into the specific. I'm not going to get into the specifics, and I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this very quickly.
The first year,
he is not a high character guy, and you have to have a quarterback being a high character.
Deshaun Watson better than Patrick Mahomes. If you look at the statistic value and what Deshaun did with the Texans, he was lights out, man. Lights out.
You good to go? But I'm gonna ask this question here, John.
Sorry about that. Breaking news. Yeah, whatever.
Breaking news.
George said, "Do you think Josh Simmons will
take?" Sorry.
No, you good. You good.
George said, "Well, you think Josh Simmons will be a starter?" They go ahead.
As soon as he's healthy, I believe he will be. Just depends on now. The question is, I think we raised this over the weekend. Was at what position? You would think it would be at left tackle. We could certainly see him if Jalen Moore, say the first, 4 or 5 weeks, is playing good at left tackle. I don't think they're going to want to move him. And if Josh becomes healthy around that time, you're not going to upset anything, right? I mean, if Kingsley is a revelation at left guard, maybe they play him at right tackle. If Juwan Taylor is having the same struggles he's had the first couple of years he's been in Kansas City. But I think he's going to play as soon as possible.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. I don't even think that Juwan Taylor, he may not be starting right tackle. They're paying him regardless. They can't cut him.
And we kind of toyed with that, moving him inside. You know, if you're going to go with your best 5, and maybe you give Josh the ability to kind of get his feet wet in the NFL at right tackle, kind of like the Chargers are doing with Joe Alt. They got Slater on the other side, but again, it's all predicated on who the best 5 are. And really, there's 3 positions that are kind of in flux: both tackles and the left guard. Because
if he's healthy, he's starting. I ain't gonna lie. If he's healthy, if that young man comes in, he's healthy, he's starting. They're gonna find a way to get that man on the field. He did when he started.
I agree.
He's the first.
I'll say he starts. Then you put I think Juwan Taylor still starts as well. Because the money and everything else, and you put Elijah. That's his name. The other guy.
Jalen Moore.
Jalen Moore on the inside. Kingsley on a swing tackle until he get everything together. I think that's your starting 5 right there. But again, hey guys, this was a killer draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of teams did well, but I think the Chiefs are, everybody else is still looking for quarterbacks besides a few teams. But the Chiefs got their quarterback, but they just building around them, and they got their key quarterback on defense and Chris Jones and Nick Bolton. So they're building around that as well. And when you got key guys at key positions, your draft can be more easy, right? It can be you can don't have to be worrying about looking for this guy. You're looking for key pieces to help build your team going forward. I think the Arizona Cardinals did well as well. They built their defense in just one draft. I think they just built. To
your point, Hense, you look at just about every team we named that had a good draft has a quarterback in place.
Right.
So, that's pretty much the key. Because when you see Philadelphia, how do they do this every year? Well, they got the key positions kind of on lockdown. Anybody they bring in is going to be like icing on the cake in most cases.
He's only picking up dudes.
This guy falls in their lap. The league's going to be like, oh my God, how did we let them get the best left tackle when that's exactly what they needed? So all these things, Baltimore, year after year, they don't need to hit on a ton of draft picks to have great drafts because they've got the key positions taken care of. And quarterback obviously is the top one.
Did Baltimore get the safety from Georgia?
They did.
No?
They did. So calm down, Bo. Calm down.
And here's the thing. If you remember at the time, I said he's a Raven. And
you called it.
They did take him over Eamon Mori from South Carolina, who had the measurables, had the height, weight, speed, all this other stuff. And Starks, maybe he didn't have as great a year playing in the nickel with Georgia, But the previous year, when he's playing safety, he's one of the best players in the
all that
country.
takes is a position change.
I also want to give credit to the Raiders. They wide receiver core got better. I would say that.
Oh yeah,
because they took one of the gold jackets, right?
They got Dante Thornton, man, and I'll say got Jack Batch.
Jack Batch.
Jack
Thornton,
Batch.
yeah.
Jack Batch.
You got to look at that. You know what I mean? They got and they got to run.
They running back Janetti.
Yeah. So and their secondary is pretty fast as well. So all they need is some coach. And who's that coordinator over there again? Think about it. Who's their offensive coordinator?
Chip Kelly.
and Pete Carroll is their head coach, man.
It's an interesting combination. Hey, I want to get one more comment in here because I think this makes a lot of sense from George McConnell about Josh Simmons, and this could be the final word on Simmons. I say that he needs to do a few snaps this year playing against one of our games so he can see how playing time and practice is not the same when you're next to Patrick Mahomes. And that's the key. He has to learn how to play as a left tackle for a guy that is a freelancer, moves around. He didn't have that in college. He's going to have it now. And that's an adjustment. I think that's why Kingsley struggled a little bit. And that's why Wanya Morris is, what do you do when Patrick's in, when the play breaks down or the line breaks down, and how do you recover? And I think Simmons has the ability, if he makes an initial mistake, to get back and at least push the guy out of the way so Patrick can make a decision as to what he's going to do. And Patrick's own admission was, he didn't take enough shots down the field because of the way the offensive line was playing. He was sacked.
Who cares?
Shush. 32 times. He was sacked 34 times last year. But yeah, you got to be able to learn. You have to learn how to play as an offensive lineman. Trey Smith did it. Creed Humphrey, Joe Thuney were able to do it. Jawan Taylor to some degree. But again, best five are going to start. And there he is. There he is.
Whoa, be careful, young man.
That is a different kettle of fish, if you would.
Yeah.
He's not just learning to play left tackle in the NFL, but learning to play left tackle when Patrick's making like second and third and fourth and fifth reaction plays where he is moving around a lot. So I know, Coach, you say, all the time Colorado's offensive line sucked. Well, again, you also had a quarterback that was constantly like backing up and backing up and backing up. There's a reason they call it a pocket. I mean, you try to form that kind of shell. Once he backs up, you got like the best athletes, in college or the NFL chasing the quarterback. You're like this huge hulking lineman that you're not as good an athlete, and you're trying to stay in front of them. So that's a great point, Nick, that it is a little bit different when you say you're playing left tackle for Lamar or for Josh Allen or for Patrick, right?
Hey, Patrick Mahomes did tell everybody he want to throw the ball. He want more deep shots down the field. He throwing a shot at Nagy. He said, hey, man, I want more shots downfield, man.
Well,
y'all see what Worthy can do. Y'all see what Worthy can do.
Talking to himself.
He's talking
right to Nagy. He said, "Hey, more shots downfield."
Yeah.
So with that said, guys, we thank you guys for timing in. Almost with 700 you guys, and thank you guys for tuning in on Monday. So we will be back Wednesday with some more
regular schedule, folks.
Regular schedule.
Back to it.
So with that said, guys, again, I think the Cardinals had a good draft. I think the Eagles had a good draft, and the Chiefs have the best draft. So with that said, guys, we will see you guys Wednesday.